I do a lot of talking to school-age students. I do a lot of talking to educators who educate school-age students. And it always has been a question of how do you get them to understand both the complexity of climate change and also the urgency. Because you have to explain it very simply, and yet it really isn't all that simple. A lot of this started in working in Texas, where there's a very strong climate denial movement, and I'd be giving public outreach talks to groups of, say, petroleum geologists who were going in absolutely convinced that they were going to hate my talk and they were going to skewer me at the end of it. And what I'd find is I do something that actually communicators tell you not to do. I show data, I show graphs, and I found that that's actually very powerful. If you've got a skeptical audience, you need to show them the data, because chances are they've never seen the data. And I have had people who admit to me that they were die-hard climate deniers, absolutely didn't believe climate change was happening, and even if I could convince them it was happening, by golly, it wasn't humans. They'd listen to me give a lecture for an hour, and they would, to their credit, they would come up and they'd say, "Little lady, you know, I was prepared to not believe you, and I was actually prepared to really come down on you hard in the question period, but you know, you've given me a lot to think about, and I've never seen that data. Where is that data?" And I'd say, "Look, don't believe me, you look it up yourself." And I'd give them a list of scientifically credible websites and say, "Look, if you don't like that, at least let me tell you how to sift through good data from bad data." And they would go away puzzled because they thought they knew what they were talking about, and they found out they really didn't. In talking to younger groups like school-age children, the funny thing is I found that pretty much the same approach works. You have to be a little simpler with the data, but actually they're pretty sharp. I've gotten better questions from 10-year-old kids than from adults, because in a sense they don't have the preconceptions. They don't have a political bias yet, they're 10 years old. I'll get a kid saying to me, "Well, but you know, if species are moving north now, and if the polar bear's already at the top, isn't it gonna go extinct?" It's like, I didn't say that. That's what they came up with. And it's like, yeah, actually you're probably right. And so what's so funny is their parents get more upset than they do. And you know, the 10-year-olds can handle it. They can handle catastrophe. It's the parents who just, "You can't tell my child the polar bear's gonna go extinct." I say, well, I can't lie to them either, can I?